Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Publio. I'm gonna sing a couple of songs to prepare our environment, to prepare our heart for the lessons, for the message today. We're gonna talk about the prayer. So I'm gonna sing songs that start the process of elevating our thoughts, our vibration. So vibrate. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Next song called Song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, supporting comfort, supporting comfort, cascades from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their heart, with love in their heart. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make you small son a good Christian, make you small son a good Christian. Now I'm going to sing a song called Workers of the Last Hour. free to sow. But the harvest is never late. Time flies and there's no turning back. Let's go planting, the land is great. We are called to war. Let's get it started, let's get it started now. Let's seize this special chance. Workers of the last hour, Jesus Christ is light. Brother, friend, he announced it for all the time, the consoler. Now we have in hands his spirit is love. In Jesus Christ we have the model of love, peace, trust. Let's get started alongside him, that the Christian never get tired. We are called to war. Let's get it started, let's get it started now. We're workers of the last hour. Jesus Christ is light. Brother, friend, he announced it for all the time, the consoler. Now we have in hands his spirit is love. His spirit is love.
And the sky destiny will be healed by your love. Ooh, disseminate wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught, as our Master Jesus taught.
Another day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. And every day is a fresh new start. When the sun turns off the moonlight, we get another chance to choose the road we want to cruise. And on the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, the new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. On the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, and the new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rodrigo, and I will be your host today. Welcome to our Spiritist talk once again. Thank you, Publio, for those songs. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Then after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. Our meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Conference Americas through their Facebook, and also every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. And for those who want to learn more about Spiritism, Get to Know Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. New classes will be starting in fall. More information will be given soon, so please stay tuned. We offer live gospel at home. Live gospel is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the Gospel at Home study meetings. By posting in the chat, you can request it. And you are welcome to include your or someone else's names on our list of positive vibrations. The person you indicate will be assisted by good spirits to provide healing, energy, and strengthen goodwill. Please find the link in our chat. And the topic of today's meeting will be prayers for oneself, part 2. It's a long chapter, a long item from chapter 28, a collection of Spiritist prayers, which will be facilitated by our brother Rodrigo Gomes, whose heart is in Ottawa. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and they will be addressed at the end of the talk. And yes, we have 3 Rodrigos in the house today. So now we would like to invite tonight's speaker. Welcome, Rod.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Yes, my heart is in Ottawa. My physical body is in Brazil, but anyways, we are all together here. Thank
So
you.
please follow up with our opening prayer. God bless your talk.
Thank
See you
you very
later.
much. See you. So let's close our eyes, elevate our thoughts. And as a reminder from our last talk last week, we know that we are surrounded by spirits. And in the first of our contacts, our guardian angel, our high level spirit is always seeking for our well being, our improvements, and our protector spirits, those who are very close to us by family experience and friendships. So, in this prayer, this opening prayer, I invite you to mentalize their presence, feel their love, compassion, their inspiration in our lives. And in a different path, ask to God and Jesus and the other higher spirits to help them, not only in this endeavor of helping us every day, but also as a gratitude feeling, helping them in any circumstance which they may need. And let's open our hearts to give them the best of us in recognition of their work and knowing that we are far away from all the good indications that they always are giving to us to make our life easier and better. But we believe in them and we have all loved for them by their compassion, company, and friendship. So let's make this night their night and give them all we have to make them have a better moment as well. So we thank you all for all this work, and we promise we'll try harder, follow your guidance and advice. So thank you very much. Okay, so let's start sharing screen. So here we are. Okay, as Rodrigo already explained, I will continue the previous talk about chapter 28, prayers for oneself, items for 11 to 41. So this is the second part, as I presented last week. Now we will start the second part with prayers to thanksgiving for victory over a temptation, to ask for a counsel during life's afflictions, thanksgiving for a favor received, prayers to act of submission and resignation at the moment of imminent danger, thanksgiving after having escaped a danger at the time of sleep and upon sensing the approach of death. And as I mentioned last,
Rod, sorry to interrupt. We can't see the slides yet. I
oh, I'm
think it is
sorry.
showing YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see what's wrong. Okay, let me reshare.
Maybe another screen was being shared.
Yeah, actually, it's just one. So, okay, let me try again.
Perfect.
That changed? Okay, so
Yes.
sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, so let me restart here. Okay, so I was just explaining, I presented the part one, and today will be the second part, starting on Thanksgiving for a victory over temptation, and finalizing in upon sensing the approach of death. So, as I explained last week, I will give some importance on this talk about the will, and I'm using the information from the book Thoughts and Life from Francisco Xavier and the Spiritual Manual, when they explain that mind is like a big office with different departments. So we have the departments of desire, intelligence, imagination, and memory. And every department plays an important role in this process. Desire operates the purposes and aspiration, nurturing the stimulus of the work. Intelligence expands the heritage of evolution and culture. Imagination brings together the riches of ideal and sensitivity, and memory achieve archives, experience and summaries. So all those departments, it's the composition of our being. We have our memory and capacity of imagination, the intelligence to uh, learn something and expand, and also the desire that move us in different directions. But they are all under the cabinet of will. So will is very important. And that's also, they say, the will is the rudder. So that will who move us in certain directions in our life. And it's crucial that we understand how important is the will, because it's that who makes the prayer a powerful tool in our transformation. So we have to direct that will, and the will connect us all together with the level of feeling that we are expressing. So, sorry, when we have a powerful prayer embedded with goodwill in a transformation for ourselves or for others, will that will make a difference. So that will make the connections with other ones who have the same feeling. We are seeking the same results. So it's important for us in the moment of prayer, we build that strong will. Otherwise, we will lose the power of prayer, and its results is also be affected by the weakness of our will on that endeavor. So the first item is for today is prayer of thanksgiving for victory over temptation. And they explain that when we are able to resist a temptation, it means we are listening to our good spirits, so our guide, our uh, protectors. So when we keep listening to their voice, we are able to distinct one to another. So we understand what is good from a bad excitation, right? A temptation, someone trying to give us ideas that will not be good for us at the end of things. So when that's important, and we should stop. So every moment when we feel we are having an idea that's not really a good idea for us, was not we so I never thought that. Why I'm thinking like this today? Why I'm thinking doing that, knowing I know that's not a good acting. So we should stop and pray. Remember the will, right? So bring the will of understanding that moment, why that's happening. Then we will open our hearts to listen those voices, the voice from the spirits that wants us to do good, right? To succeed in our life. So then we can not act. So transform that idea in something that, okay, I'm not doing that today. So we always should be thankful to God, because it's giving us these guardians that will help us as long we are open to this. So we have prayers to ask for a counsel. Whenever we are unsure about doing or not doing something, we should, before anything else, ask ourselves the following question. So again, when we have a weird idea, something that we are not really clear, should I do it or not? The spirits are indicating some questions for us to ask ourselves. One is, can the thing that I'm hesitant to do cause harm to someone else? So that acting that I'm thinking will result in some harm to someone. So if there is any possibility of yes, we should absolutely think twice or not doing it at all. Might be useful to someone, so that can be something that can result in a positive thing, or no, that there is no utility at all. If someone else were to do it to me, would I be happy about it? So it's a great question, because we will bring to action the indication of Jesus saying, I'm doing the same thing that I'm asking my neighbor to do it with me. So if I'm not happy receiving that action, why I'm doing to others? So another very important point, and for us to avoid that acting. During life's afflictions, so we can ask God for earthly favors, and He might grant them to us if they have a useful and serious purpose. So it's very good advice because normally we keep asking, right? In many cases, earthly things. So I want a better results here, or maybe a material things there, and we will receive those if they really have something that can help us in our life, knowing our incarnated life has a specific purpose, and that is our evolution. So as long we evolve more, we are getting closer and closer to God. So those favors that we are asking have that in mind or not. So he's explaining, however, since we judge the usefulness of things from our own point of view, and since our vision is limited to the present, we do not always see the bad side of what we desire. And even we cannot see the influence of past lives. So we know our vices and problems, they, in many cases, didn't start in this life. So we are bringing those bad habits through centuries. And if you keep asking that and not receiving, maybe it's because we use that same thing for a fail in our past life, or many cases in many lives. Our point of view is limited. And this is very important. Are we listening to others' opinions about our actions? Because when we listen to only ourselves, we normally approve, right? Say, okay, I did that and I know why I did. And I have good intention. Maybe the result was not that good, but I try my best. So it's good to listen people, uh, other people about our acting. And those who really don't like us are the best ones to give advice because they don't have any reason to be kind, right? They don't need that. They don't like us anyway. So maybe sometimes they can elevate a lot the critical idea about our acting, but we can absolutely extract some reality from their opinions. So try to listen. The people who criticize you a lot, I'm not saying they are 100% right, right? But they probably can bring to you a very good vision about your acting, different from yourselves for sure, and different from friends, because sometimes they are too kind to give you a real opinion about it. So ask people about and listen to those who criticize you as a learning uh, moment for you. So I just bring this picture to show our point of view. So when we see our life, we are kind of seeing as a inside of a forest, and we can see one or another path like this, like we have one way to go and another way, but that's our vision as an incarnated being. We don't see all the spiritual context of our acting. We cannot see the past lives. We know we have influence from friends and guides, but we also have the temptation spirits. We have those enemies, or people who are just spirits who are just connected to us because our problems and vices and habits. So our vision is limited, but that's the vision of God. So he can see the full path from beginning to the end of our choice, and the path we should be following. So let's trust God. Let's trust the higher spirits because they know more about us than we know. Because they can see the full existence, and we just see our moment, our limited moment in this incarnate perspective. So let's trust more in this all these inspirations we are receiving. In the most of all, let's trust the answers we get in our prayer when we do it with the full will and open hearts. So during life's afflictions. God, who sees better than we do and who wants only our good, made us refuse us, just as a father refuses to give his child what might be harmful. Again, we have a limited vision and we are embedded with material desires, right? So sometimes we want something really badly, but that will not make any difference in our life and maybe will make our life harder because all the combination of things that will have to be accomplished for us to get what we want. So God can just refuse because he knows better, right? If what we have asked is not for us, for is not granted, we must not become discouraged. On the contrary, we ought to think that the refusal of what we desire is being imposed on us as a trial or expiation, and that our recompense will be proportional to the resignation with which we will have borne. So we should accept our limitation and difficulties and learn from it. Our resignation will grant us a better moral moment because in the least of the situation, our patience will be developed. So, which is truly amazing, right? So, what are you asking for? Are you asking for material things? And what kind of things? Are you asking for moral things? In what moment? You just remember praying when you need something? Or are you also doing for be thankful? So trying to well balance. That's for you to think about it. I'm thinking about that right now. So how is being my prayer, the moment that I'm doing, how I'm feeling about it, what I'm asking for. So prayer is thanksgiving for a favor received. I like this image because I think it's a true image of ourselves when we like every seed brings it on it the full tree, but to get there the tree must endeavor right many challenges to grow, resisting like the winds, the storms, getting the power of the sun and the rain to grow this exchange with the earth. So we are like that as a being. We have the perfection on us. We were created by God, so we have all that perfection on us. But the good thing about it, like God is giving us the opportunity to grow by our own work and giving all the tools that we need to get there. So we should be thankful because we are always receiving something. And in many cases, we are not even perceiving that. So we don't see that in our life because we are not paying attention. So let's see what the item is saying. One must not only consider matters of great importance as happy events. Those least in appearance are often the ones that have the most influence on our destiny. And that is great because, yes, normally when something really great happens, we are thankful. Or in the other side, when we have a big problem, we are there to ask for help. But how about the hundreds of small things that happen every day? In many cases, in just 1 hour, many things can happen in our life. So it's all part of this process. People easily forget the good and remember especially what afflicts them. If we would recall every day the benefits we have received without having asked for them, we would often be surprised at the number that have slipped in our memory, and we would be humbled by our ingratitude. So, small things. So, the water we have, the clean water we have, the electricity, in this very moment, right? To have this talk, being in the presenter side or watching it, it's all something that we are receiving, and there are millions of people that is far from that possibility right now in this very moment. So it's just one item that we can think about it. So I'm inviting you to think in three benefits you received today without asking. Think the day is finishing and we pass through the day. So we have meals, again, water, our work, our family. So all this in our life only today. So all kinds of benefits we are receiving without asking for nothing. So God's benefits do not consist only in material things, and that's we already know that, but it's really important. It's really important that we remind ourselves. We should also give thanks for the good ideas and happy inspirations that are suggested to us. So again, all the time we have the presence of friends. They are trying to give us. And think about it. In many situations, can be a work problem, can be a life problem. Suddenly, you have an amazing idea. So wow, that came to me. Why I didn't think that before? We know why, right? Because we are receiving those ideas and inspirations from our friends, our spiritual friends. So let's be thankful and let's remind ourselves that we know we don't want all the ideas, inspirations that we have. In many cases, we are receiving that for friends. So the prayers as an act of submission and resignation. So when a reason for distress strikes us, if we look for it, because we will often find that is a consequence of our imprudence. So when we have a distress, when we have something that it's making us suffer, is a consequence of our own imprudence. What I did that bring me to this situation, or what I not did. I supposed to do something and I just missed that. Now I'm here. Lack of foresight, so I'm not really seeing. My mind, my vision is too narrow. So the situation that I'm not looking to it, now it's here and cause me suffering. Or can be a previous action. So doesn't matter which one, or maybe more than one together. In all cases, we must attribute it only to ourselves. So on your situation, stop blaming others on your problems. If I have a problem today, it's a consequence of my acting. And that can be from any moment of this or from the past. So, on that, because it's in your hands to change it. And then start this feeling and prayer of submission, understanding you have to change. If the cause of misfortune is independent of any participation on our part, and I just want to emphasize any participation. So it's very unusual, right? But let's say that's happening with you. It is either a trial for this life or an atonement for a past existence. And in the latter case, the nature of the expiation can enable us to understand the nature of the wrong. So remember that vision about the forest? So our vision is small, right? Short. But even with that difficult of understanding the full picture, when we are suffering a problem or having a difficulty in our life, we understand the nature of the wrongdoing because there are absolutely some connections. So if I have a disease who makes me avoid certain kind of acting, food, or I understand that I have some problem that I need to fix, and that's connected to that habit that bring me to that situation. So even if I cannot really see the cause of the problem because it's not connected to my acting right now, I I'm still able to understand the problem because I understand what's happened to me. So it must be because I did something that is connected to that situation, and now I have to leave that problem, to pass that difficult. And that is great because if I'm feeling that I'm passing for a trial or a tournament, it means I'm solving that. If I'm doing something wrong right now and just feeling, oh my God, I'm amazing, soon enough I will have to deal with the trial, right? And the expiation. So better we are passing for the problem now because we are solving the problem. Keep that in mind. Regarding what afflicts us, generally we see only the present will and not the final favorable consequences that may be hold. So forest view, I cannot see beyond that. But if I'm passing the problem now, I'm solving the problem, and the consequence will be freedom. I'm free of that. Frequently, the good comes after a temporary will, just as the healing of a sickness is the result of the painful means that have been employed to obtain it. So, the harder is the process, the better will be the result. Sorry. In all cases, we should submit God's will and courageously bear life's tribulations if we want them to be taken into account, and so that these words of Christ may be applicable to us. Blessed are they who suffer. Remember, it's hard, absolutely, when we suffer, because that suffer is specific in our life for us, right? But start thinking how blessed you are because that suffering is a problem that you are solving from the past. So, praise at the moment of imminent danger. By means of dangers we face, God reminds us of our weakness and the fragility of our existence, our material existence, showing us that our life is in His hand and that we are upheld by a threat that may snap at the moment when we least expect it. So the imminent dangers and the prayer for it, uh, it's connect to our possibility of humility because we understand we have no control in of our material life. We don't know when it will be ended and how. So we also understand better our fragility, our our size, right, through the existence. So this open our hearts to understand ourselves as part of something, small part, but still important. And they are saying, from this point of view, no one is privileged because both great and small are subject of the same alternatives. So at some point, our life will end, our incarnated life. And that's for all. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, well known or unknown. We all will be passing for the same process. So it's better we work through that today, doing good and working ourselves, looking for improvements. If one examines the nature and consequence of the danger, one will see that most often such consequences are punishment for either a wrong committed or a duty neglected. So our mind reminds us all the time the wrong we are doing. We can uh, dodge others' eyes, but we cannot escape from our own conscience. So it doesn't matter, right? So people are knowing or seeing what we are doing. We know that, and because we know that, we will be the ones requesting something that we can do to uh, fix that bad acting. By means of dangers, we go through. God shows us that we can at any moment be called to render an accounting for the use we are making of our life. And that comes to the question, are you ready for the end of your material life? Everything's in the right place? All the accounts are paid, right? So it's hard when we stop to thinking. But that can happen today, tomorrow, in 1 week, or maybe in 15 years. But that will happen for sure. So knowing that, it's time to think about it. So what I need to do or what I'm doing, and that's something I may need to stop. So think about it, because the moment of passing from the material world to the spiritual world, it's coming from all of us, right? So we should think more about that and also work more through that change. So prayer at the time of sleep. Sleep is the repose of the body, but the spirit does not need repose, just the body, right? Why the senses are numb, the soul partially frees itself from matter and enjoys its faculties as a spirit. Sleep has given the human beings to restore the organic and mental energy. While the body recovers the energy it spends during the waking state, the spirit renews itself amongst other spirits. And that's important because, yes, our physical body needs uh, a time to recover. So the sleep time is that moment. But us as a spirit, we can use that time to be close to other spirits. And that is something that we can decide, remember the will, through our will. So if our will is moving us as the rudder to the good ones, amazing. So we'll be close to the good ones, receiving the counsels, getting the advices, so we can use those in our wicked moment as a material beings, right? But on the other hand, we can also go uh, close to the spirits that are not so good, because we are not good as well, as our will is moving us. So we have the desire of doing wrong things, and you'll be close to those who wants the same. So that's another important moment. Why people always say we should pray before go to sleep? Because a prayer with heart and good intentions can help us elevate our state of vibration and make us close to the good ones. On the other hand, if you're very not well balanced, so we have a bad day and we have all that feeling with us, we are angry, or like we have a discussion and argument with someone. So all that energy, it's lowering our state of vibration, and then we will seek for people who have the same level, right? The same will, um we will make the same connection. So it goes looking for its vehicles and visit place where it can give free reins to its inclination. So it's very important we keep our level of balance and vibration always positive, because that will be through the day, right? If I'm well balanced in my work, I will be better. I will receive the inspirations even there. I will contact people in a better way. But if I'm not with that good feelings, so I will turn and be close to the other kind of spirits that is close to me, and that will not be a good companion. So be aware about that, and always use the resource of prayer. We normally, I have the habit of sleep, like pray before I sleep, pray when I wake up, sometimes during the day, but we should always do all all the time. There is no contraindication, side effects, right? So I'm not feeling well right now. I'm working. It's 2 p.m. Let's stop and it's 30 seconds, 1 minute of pray. So I will well balance myself a little bit, open my here for the good advice, so then I can continue my work. So don't stop yourself of praying. You can even pray driving. So don't close your eyes, right? But yeah, you can pray in any moment of your life. So at the time of sleep, may those who are aware of this truth lift their thought at the moment when they feel sleep approaching. So it's just a confirmation what I'm just was talking to you. Lift your thought before go to sleep, because you will have a much better moment. You have a possibility of be with your guides and protectors, and avoid a lot of problems through that moment. So I always emphasize that every item on this chapter, it's followed by a prayer sample, and sometimes more than one. I'm not bringing them all here because it'll be too long. And again, they are just sample for you to see, because you should have your own prayer, right? That will move your will to the right direction. So, but I'm bringing here the sleep prayer, and it's saying, my soul goes to be with other spirits for a moment. May good spirits come to help me with their counsels. My guardian angel enable me to retain until awakening a lasting and healthy impression of them. So it's not a great moment when we wake up full of joy and happiness and feel so light. So that means we have a good moment through the sleep with our spiritual friends in a positive engagement, right? So we also pray upon sensing the approach of death, and with the will, with the certain of the spiritual life that can help us deal better with this moment. So often the corporeal life has not yet expired. So even when we are feeling that moment can happen, so we can discarnate it, the prayer can make all the difference. If it's the right moment, the passing will be uh, assisted in a better way, because we will helping our friends, spiritual friends, with the process. If not, maybe that can make a difference for us to stay and continue with our life as an incarnated being. So on the other hand, for the people who have concentrated all their thoughts on material things, so if in the moment of death approaching, we understand, as I was talking before, our spiritual life, and as we know, being spirits just in incarnated situation, that moment will be light and easier. Eh, But if you are too connected with material things, the separation will be harder, painful, because we'll be feeling all that losing things, right? So my my car, my things, my so if you think things or people are our possessions, it will be hard, and also we'll be suffering much more. So trying to use the moment of prayer to remind ourselves you are spirit and nothing here is really yours, or besides the gains the moral gains you have. So that's its important memory during the prayer. So to finalize the talk of today and this part one of part two of the prayers, I'm bringing here a thought from Mahatma Gandhi when he explained about the prayer. It is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. So, what a great thought, right? So, the prayer is also one admission of our impossibilities. We need help. We understand that, so we ask. It's important for us to understand that when we are asking, we understand we need something, right? So it's an admission, and he's saying it's better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart. So we don't need the beautiful words for a prayer. We don't even need words. If you stay silent with your will moving in the direction of helping yourself, helping others, spreading love, that is a perfect prayer. In contrary, if you can have beautiful words, but not a heart there, so there is no useful. So there's no use at all for that prayer. Think about it. Put your heart in your words, in your thoughts during the prayer. Open a moment for that. Reserve yourself. It's just a couple of seconds, but do it with true will. And then you will start feeling the difference in all the good influence that you have all the time from your guides and from your protectors. So I want to thank you for the opportunity of this talk, and I'm happy to help with any necessary question or comments.
Oh, Rod, thank you for all this time committed to prepare two beautiful presentations back to back to us. God bless you. We do have lots of questions and comments. I'll try to go through them quickly. Um, from Publio, sometimes we are down, lost, and we don't have enough power to pray for ourselves. We can ask for help to friends or prayers groups to pray with us when we are weak to pray.
That's that's a good question, Pablo. Thank you. Well, all the prayer are valid, right? So absolutely we can. We can also pray for others. We can help them, right? We remember the will, right? So we can direct our will to help others, and that's charity. So yes, absolutely, we can count on friends, and we also know we have a great number of friends in the spiritual realm praying for us. So let's keep praying ourselves, and we'll be connecting all these other ones, and our state will up. So we will uplift ourselves. But yes, we can count. We can ask our friends to pray for us and also pray for them.
Awesome. From the other Rodrigo Villa, what can we do to better prepare to better prepare for the end? Since we don't know when the end is coming, what can we do to prepare?
Yes, thank you for the question, Rodrigo. Yes, we don't the end of our material life, right? We know as a spirit, our life is endless. But yes, we should follow Jesus' advice, right? The gospel, and use whatever we can to develop our virtues and pay full attention ourselves to identifying and work with our vices. So let's try to improve ourselves to be closer and closer to God. That's the best we can do.
Awesome. And from Marceli, if at the time of sleep I start a prayer and end up falling asleep in the middle of it, will it be well received even if it's unfinished? Well, that has happened with me already.
And that's yeah, I'm laughing because it happened with me. Normally say I start praying when I wake up, I say that's so yes, that's happened with all of us. Again, depends on our will. If you have even that short moment before falling asleep, we are doing that truly with our hearts, as Gandhi was saying. So absolutely, that will be in our benefit. Um, I have the same problem. What I'm trying to do to avoid that is reserve a moment of prayer before, because when that happened with me, normally I leave the prayer moment to the very end of my day. So try and do it before. So that will help you. But absolutely, even the intention of prayer, it's something that can benefit us.
Yeah. And a comment for someone very close to my heart. Let us not forget to thank also the difficulties and the detractors that we find in our way, because they are, with no doubt, the instruments of learning and personal improvement.
Absolutely right, Dora. Perfect. Exactly. So we used to listen ourselves. So oh, I know the reason I'm doing that. Sometimes our friends and family that are close to us, so normally they are in our favor, but we should open our hearts to listen people who really don't like us, or at least don't they're not our fans, because they will bring us a lot of good insights. So yeah, let's open our hearts to everyone.
Awesome. Once again, thank you very much, brother.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
See you next time. And thank you also very much for the ones working behind the scenes for for the beautiful music of Publio, Rodrigo Villar, Marceli, everyone involved in this talk. Thank you. And we will now move to the preparation of for tonight's spiritual treatment. Pass is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Passes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy, positive energy. And in order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or just remain in prayer. And you may close your eyes if that helps. During the fast, by the way, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that you and your family can benefit from. And now it's time for another prayer, which is going to close this work. I ask you to close your eyes again and think about Jesus, think about Mary, something that brings you peace. Oh, Father, what else can we say than thank you? Thank you for another presentation, for all this time dedicated, beautiful presentation from our brother, Rod. All the time dedicated, 2 talks in a row. Thank you, brother. Thank you for our mentors, our guardian angels, the patrons of this work. who protect us, who inspire us, who help us continue this work. Thank you for our health. Thank you for so much that we don't even notice. For another day, for another reunion, for your presence among us, O Father. We ask you to bless each one of us. In special, bless our brother Rod, his home, his family. Give him your peace, Father. Help our group. Help us continue united, vibrating in the same symphony. Protect and help our brothers and sisters in our vibration list. Give them patience, courage. Help them overcome their difficulties. And once again, Father, we ask you to stay with us, to bless our places, our families, our hearts. It is in your holy name that we pray. Amen.
Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capernaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
And thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concaffres, Americas at 8 p.m. Eastern, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. And don't forget to follow Spiritism Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Spiritist group Path of Light on Facebook as well. Have a wonderful night and God bless you.
Come on, my friend, come to the light. Here with all our heart and soul, let's follow Jesus Christ. Let us preach the peace, let us preach the love. And this world already wonderful will be much more. Get up, look at the sky, in the earth where the flowers bloom with sunshine. Let's hold our hands and be together on this road. Then we take peace and love and spread it to the world.